Joint media briefing between President Muhammadu Buhari and his Beninois counterpart, Patrick Talon. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
This is the first formal visit by President Patrice Talon of the Republic of Benin to Nigeria since coming to power on the 6th of April 2016. A befitting diplomatic ceremony was therefore organized by President Muhammadu Buhari at the forecourt of the State House to welcome the Beninois leader. The two leaders thereafter retreated for bilateral talks behind closed doors on areas of common interest, during which security and economic issues were brought to the front burner. Briefing newsmen on the outcome of their discussions, both President Muhammadu Buhari and Patrice Talon of the Republic of Benin expressed concern over the negative effect of the high rate of illegal trade through their borders on their country's economic well-being and promised to do whatever it takes towards arresting the situation.
Sad and long-standing problem is the question of using Benin as a transit camp to bring a lot of goods into Nigeria. Under ECO's agreement, all we have to do is to remind ourselves about our respective national commitments that other than really ECO's originated commodities, we should not allow it. If we get strict on that, I think Nigerian industries will benefit from ECO's agreement.
La qualité de nos relations depuis si longtemps.
Commodities are imported transiting through Benin Republic, coming to Nigeria, where these products are really prohibited, and this creates some difficulties between the two countries. We discussed the possibility of reactivate and re-energize trade relationship between the two countries in such a way that illegal trade is not encouraged, and that legal illicit trade are encouraged, so that things are done in the proper way. To see a situation where Benin will also live and prosper as another Nigerian state.
The bilateral talks between the two countries' delegations also centered on ways and means of achieving security and stability in the Niger Delta, so that the enormous gas potentials in the region can be supplied to the Republic of Benin and beyond under the West African Gas Pipeline Project.
The world knows that Nigeria has plenty of gas. What we need to do is to stabilize the environment so that this gas can be regularly pumped to the sub-region through the infrastructure already in place.
Nous permettre de nous développer et que le pétrole, les mines.
Nigeria is the engine room of our economy in the sub-region, and this crisis should not be allowed really to run down this engine room.
President Buhari also used the opportunity to express gratitude to the Republic of Benin for contributing troops to the multinational joint task force in the fight against Boko Haram, in spite of being far away from the battlefield. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In a related development, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed absolute confidence in the ability of his administration to effectively secure the nation's gas infrastructure in the Niger Delta for stable power supply across the country. Receiving his Togolese counterpart, President Fure Yasingbe, on a courtesy visit, the president said this is necessary for Nigeria's economic growth and development. Here again is State House correspondent Adamu Sambo.
President Fure Nasembe was in the State House to brief President Muhammadu Buhari on his tour of some industrial concerns in Lagos, as well as the forthcoming summit on maritime security to be held in Lome later this year. During the briefing held behind closed doors, the two leaders also used the opportunity to discuss other issues of common interest between their countries, as well as the security situation in South Sudan and Burundi. Addressing the media shortly after, both President Muhammadu Buhari and the Togolese leader, Fore Nasembe, spoke of the imperatives of maritime security for enhanced socio-economic well-being in the West African sub-region and beyond.
We have power problem. The resources are available. The technology is available. all we are doing is to try to stabilize the situation so that we can have regular power, which means our productivity will be competitive, and God willing, we are going to achieve our objectives.
When I was in Lagos State, I was told that the gas pipe that will be built will be buried under the sea up to 150 meters.
Nasembe has since left Nigeria for Lome, the Togolese capital. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, in continuation of its wide consultation on how to get off recession, the economic team of the federal government, headed by the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, has held a special meeting in which some economic experts made presentations as contributions to the process of developing the midterm economic framework. The Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma Udo Udoma, addressed the media after the over 3 hours meeting. State House correspondent Jide Onifade brings us details.
We are in the middle of consultations to develop the new economic management, midterm economic framework. Last week we had meetings with NGOs. Today we met some economists. We met with Bismarck Rewane, Professor Akpanekpo, Dr. Ayo Teriba, Professor Badai Sani, and Mr. Bode Augusto. And they made presentations to the economic management team on their response to the draft MTEF, which is still a consultative document. So it's part of a comprehensive consultation process that we are embarking on to make sure that we reach out to a wide spectrum of Nigerians to get a feedback in terms of how best, to make sure that we come out of this recession, that we get the best possible MTEF. The Fiscal Responsibility Act requires us to do so. On Thursday, we will be meeting in Lagos with private sector and to carry on to continue with the consultations. So at the end, we will come out with a program that has been has received the buy-in, of many Nigerians, in which there has been wide consultation. So that was what this process was about.
President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration is not in any way marginalizing any part of the country, but would rather build a more cohesive and united country whose citizens will be proud to be Nigerians with equal rights and opportunity. Anthony Forson reports that this was the mood that characterized the submissions of ministers at the Southeast edition of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture's Town Hall Meeting series in Enugu.
Being the fifth in the series, the Southeast comprises Abia, Imo, Ebonyi, Anambra and Enugu states. Leading the ministers in delivering their scorecards under the Buhari administration, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed said the change that was promised is for real, despite insinuations from people he described as cynics.
Many have said they are yet to see the change we promised. Many more have called the promises a ruse. In fact, many of them are mocking us, but we remain undaunted because we know that the change we promised is real.
The minister said developing the southeastern region of the country is dear to the heart of the president. On perceived lopsidedness in appointment, Lai Mohammed saying
there are hundreds of appointments yet to be made. It's an evolving scenario, and any lopsidedness is being addressed as we progress.
I assure you, in 2 years, both for grains and tree crops, fruits and vegetables, this country will be back where she was in the past.
In our 2016 budget, the National Arbovirus Research Center, which is in Enugu, will receive support.
A lot of the resources of this country are stashed away in foreign countries. And we need a very robust engagement with all those countries to get them to help us to bring that stolen loot back to this country.
The time has come for us to take that toga and get, quite frankly, serious. Every Nigerian needs to now begin to say the problem is not the problem of President Buhari.
We need to look at our past agricultural practices, and the Ministry of Environment is partnering with the Ministry of Agriculture to ensure that these harmful agricultural practices are brought into bear.
What we have agreed to do is that we're going to set up these industrial zones and industrial parks all across the country.
This government you are seeing today, we are managing poverty for you because we are broke. That is the truth.
Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi assured that he will key into specific federal government programs and policies for the betterment of his people. The people took on the ministers, who in turn provided answers to all issues that have been agitating their minds. In Enugu, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says the Southeast edition of the Town Hall meeting series is a demonstration of citizens yearning to engage their leaders for them to have a direct impact of what they feel. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, alongside his agriculture and foreign affairs counterparts, spoke to journalists shortly after the Southeast Town Hall meeting in Enugu.
No substitute for town hall meetings, because it provides an avenue and a vehicle for both the government and the governed to exchange ideas.
We heard from the people of the Southeast, their anxieties, their fears, their concerns, but also their commitment. There were those who had apprehensions that maybe the whole thing would be too volatile. It came out fine. So we're happy with that, and we'll carry our conclusions back, inform Mr. President. We have even decided that very soon we shall have a cabinet retreat of our own.
Clearly that there's still a lot of work to be done, that the expectations of the government are extremely high, and that we really need to keep in touch with the people.
And the federal government's strategies for successful reforms in developing power and infrastructure in Nigeria took center stage at the Royal Institute of International Affairs, Chatham House, London, where Minister of Power, Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola addressed a varied audience on policies and programs to improve the economy. Bilkisu Abdurazak Odoye reports.
Speaking on his roadmap for improving the power sector, Minister Babatunde Raji Fashola said issues of tariff, vandalization of infrastructure, not compensating communities where projects are cited, as well as lack of political will to deliver on projects in a timely manner are some challenges the Buhari administration inherited and is tackling to ensure incremental power supply.
But we're working through the procurement process now to ensure that it can be delivered not only to budget but also to time. Gurara hydropower, there's Kashimbila, there's Dadinkowa, there's Kaduna 215 megawatt.
A big bang, the minister adds, is on the horizon as private investors are now building refineries and petrochemical plants thanks to favorable administrative policies of the federal government.
We have come and are now at a point where privatization has taken place. That investment, the $17 billion investment, will also deliver a 1,000 plus kilometer pipeline network, bringing gas out of the main gas fields in the Niger Delta into the industrial hub of Lagos and most of the Southwest. It will deliver roughly 3.3 billion standard cubic feet of gas daily, which is about enough energy to deliver 12,000 megawatt of power on a daily basis.
During an interactive session which featured questions on sustainability of the power projects, engaging the rural communities, seeking alternative sources of energy, and many more were put across to the minister.
Very, very hopeful, but a lot will depend on all of us, as he stressed, resources and management.
In London, Bilkisu Abdurazak Odoye, NTA News.
And back home in Nigeria, the Acting Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has set up a donor coordinating unit to collate and streamline all assistance from it.
The General of Police said building a strong police institution to cope with the current challenges of the nation is a primary focus of his administration. Bonaventure Wood, NTA News.
An unconfirmed number of people are said to have lost their lives in an attack by Fulani herdsmen at Kudumu village in Demsa local government area of Adamawa State. A police public relations officer, DSP Abubakar Uthman, confirmed the incident to NTA News. Meanwhile, Adamawa State government has taken proactive measures to ensure that normalcy returns to the affected town. Deputy Governor Martins Nasiri Babale gave the assurance after a security meeting, a council meeting held in Demsa. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Asiwaju BC Adebuyi as Postmaster General and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Postal Service. Asiwaju BC Adebuyi, aged 55, a legal practitioner and businessman, graduated from the University of Lagos in 1985 and holds a master's degree in law from the same university. A statement by the Director of Press in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bolaji Adebuyi, says the appointment is with immediate effect. President Muhammadu Buhari has sent the list of nominees into the positions of Chairman, Executive and Non-Executive Commissioners of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, to the Senate for confirmation. The nominees are Senator Olabiyi Durojaye as Chairman, while Sunday Dare is nominated Executive Commissioner, Stakeholders Management. Those nominated as Non-Executive Commissioners are Aliyu Saidu Abubakar, Clement Omeze Baye, Chief Okoi FM Obono Obla, Pastor Ezekiel Yisa, and Senator Ifeanyi Ararume. A statement from the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says the nominations are in accordance with Section 8, Subsection 1 of the NCC Act 2003. Application time for N-Power jobs and training programs by the federal government has now been extended till the end of August 2016. A release from the Office of the Vice President and signed by the Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akonde, stated that the extension for N-Power online jobs and training applications for another month is to pull in more potentially qualified candidates and expand the opportunity base around and across the country. The application process commenced on June 12, 2016 and was to close on Monday, July 25, 2016. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. A former chairman of the House Committee on Appropriations takes his case on pardon to the APC National Secretariat. These and more stories after the break. Stay with us.
If you hear a bomb explosion or gunshots of an active shooter, that might be a terror attack. At such times, always remember 3 action words: run, hide, report. Don't try to run towards the terror scene to save the situation, because there might be a second bomb blast or another attack. Run far away and take cover. Make sure you are safe first. Yes, it is in our nature to sympathize over the hurt, but remember, only trained personnel can help in such situations. When in a secured environment, promptly call relevant authorities and help will come. For anonymous reporting, call 09630-3250-5 or 0813-2222-106. If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
My sweetheart! I carry my private jet go airport and they tell me, say, I never fit take off. That's a problem. Baby, don't rush. Don't rush. Relax and talk to me. Sweetheart, me bong that thing. Don't tell about I get. Madam! Baby, cut.
Call every time. Tell me, you dey thief my money, Abi?
No. Chief calling officer. Now wait till you don't do this time.
The boy don't dey take my money. See how he burn my pot.
Now Airtel just give me plenty credit. He don't lie. Airtel Smart Connect. Every time when you load 100 naira, they must dash you 500 naira on top. 250 naira to make call. The other 250 naira will give you 50 megabytes of data. Madam, make I tell you one secret why my credit not a big finish. I dey always recharge before the time where that one supposed end. Madam, this one no be jara. Now over jara.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
You get 3 kinds of moms. The paranoid mom, the cautious mom, and the Dettol mom. She only trusts Dettol antiseptic liquid to protect her family from up to 100 illness-causing germs, and it's recommended for cuts and scrapes, which is why you can worry less and love more. Don't just be any mom, be a Dettol mom.
The leadership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in southern Nigeria shall meet on Thursday, 4th August 2016 at Government House, Port Harcourt by 7 p.m. Those invited to attend include all PDP governors, all former governors, National Assembly leadership, 1 senator from each state, 1 member of the House of Representatives from each state, all state party chairmen, all former ministers, all zonal chairmen, all state House of Assembly speakers, all former National Assembly presiding officers. Convener, His Excellency Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, Governor, Ondo State.
A hectic lifestyle or overeating can cause a burning pain in your chest. That's heartburn. Take Gaviscon. 1 dose relieves in 3 minutes to soothe the pain of heartburn. It goes straight to the source to work for hours, providing long-lasting relief.
That's why I recommend Gaviscon.
I recommend Gaviscon. Gaviscon, fast relief you can actually feel.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Growth failure and stunting, impaired intellectual development, rickets, attention deficit disorder, and even death are some of the consequences of malnutrition. According to UNICEF, 2.5 million Nigerian children are suffering from malnutrition, while about 500,000 are likely to die yearly from malnutrition. These alarming figures and the malnourished state of children in the Northeast, wife of the President, Her Excellency Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, in line with her Future Assured project, launched Get Involved, aimed at proffering solution to the problem of malnutrition in children. According to Aisha Buhari, with collective efforts from the Nigerian public, no child should lack a good nutritional diet. For inquiries and support, email programs@futureassured.org.ng. Get involved. Save a Nigerian child today.
We formed the APC from day one with the intention of changing the direction of Nigeria. We believe Nigeria is an African power and can be a major powerhouse in world affairs. But to do that, we need to change our direction.
It can be done. This country cannot be written off. It can be done. And this country will still lead Africa. We're making steps, slow steps, moving on. I mean, it took the Americans 200 plus years to get where they are. We're moving.
So nice to have you stay with us. The standard bearer of the All Progressives Congress and the Edo State governorship election, Godwin Obaseki, has promised to build new cities and provide enabling environment to attract industries to the state. Godwin Obaseki, in company of his running mate Philip Shaibu and the state governor Adams Oshomole, made the promise while in Abuja, Orionwa local government area of the state, in continuation of the governorship rally. He said his administration will sustain the even spread of the ongoing infrastructural development in the state and empower women and youth through a soft loan program.
was reading today.
Dodo. We build school in my village. I build school in Igbo Dodo. Right now it is being built. We are building road to Igbo Dodo.
As they stay with politics, the All Progressives Congress, APC, is wading into the alleged 2016 budget padding to ensure peace and unity among members involved in the crisis. Deputy National Chairman, North, Senator Shoaibu Lawal, stated this after a closed-door meeting with former chairman of the House of Representative Committee on Appropriation, Abdulmumin Jibril. The party's Deputy National Chairman, North, who led the meeting, said the mission of the platform is not to apportion blames, but to get first-class information and to broker peace.
In your paper that we call him to discipline him. To discipline him on what? You know, whatever happens in the House of Representatives, or indeed even in the Senate, under the Constitution and their rules, they are immune. But when certain things go off course, the party needs to call its members to know how best to unite any feuding members.
And we're not done with politics, as the northwest zone of the People's Democratic Party has resolved to adopt zoning of elective positions in the zone. National Vice Chairman, PDP North, Ambassador Ibrahim Kazaure, disclosed this after a closed-door meeting of stakeholders of the party in the zone, which took place in Kaduna. Garba Mohammed Natala reports.
The zonal chairman, PDP Northwest, Ambassador Ibrahim Kazaure, stated that the meeting is preparatory to the upcoming national convention of the party, as well as setting stage for zoning positions yet to be allocated to 3 zones of the party, which are Northwest, North Central, and Northeast zones of the country.
And discuss how to share the position given to the Northwest. The position given to the Northwest are National Secretary, National Woman Leader, Deputy Treasurer, and Deputy Leader Advisor.
The zonal chairman also noted that the zoning committee will soon announce the zoned positions to Northwest, comprising of Kebbi, Zamfara, Sokoto, Katsina, Jigawa, Kano, and Kaduna states during the forthcoming national convention of the party.
There are so many interests. You have to take every interest into account and sit down and iron it.
In Kaduna, Garba Mohammed Natala, NTA News.
A Lagos state government tackles the economy through the Eco-Atlantic project. Jennifer in Lagos is our guide. Hello, Jennifer. It's over to you.
Thank you, Isaac. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has embarked on an extensive tour of the Eco-Atlantic City project, expressing confidence that the initiative would not only boost the economy of the state, but also increase its internally generated revenue. Nosa Osula reports.
Governor Akinwumi Ambode, who was accompanied on the tour by members of the State Executive Council, pledged the total commitment of his administration towards the success of the project, saying it would go a long way to facilitate the quest to grow potentials of the state economy.
This is a new and a bigger version of Victoria Island. We're going to have an energy city here, a financial hub that is more or less going to run under a free trade zone. We also know basically that all this put together turns Lagos to that leader that we want Lagos to be in Africa. I just want to encourage all the investors and also encourage all the people who have actually taken one stake or the other in Eco-Atlantic City that the time is now.
Governor Ambode said their investment was a positive sign that Nigeria remains the investment hub in Africa. The Eco-Atlantic City project is a multi-billion-dollar project sitting on 10 million square meters and is expected to accommodate 150,000 people who would reside there and another 250,000 who would work and commute within the city on a daily basis. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the NTA Network news from the Lagos Network Center. We have more reports ahead from Abuja after this timeout. Stay tuned.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now, through our technology. OLED TV.
Introducing new Dettol multi-surface cleaner for a healthy home. Some cleaners don't kill germs, others kill germs but don't clean properly. New Dettol multi-surface cleaner gives you 10 times better germ kill, 10 times better cleaning, and all-day freshness for a healthy home.
Germs, oil, and dirt cause blemishes and uneven skin tone. You need Dettol Even Tone. It removes 99.9% of germs and is formulated to remove excess oil and dirt, helping to reduce blemishes. New Dettol Even Tone.
M5 Plus with a 50-20 milliampere battery that lets you play for up to 3 days on a single charge. Gioni M5 Plus, always in power.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Welcome back. You're still watching the NTA Network news. Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele has called for patience as the global economy continues to witness sluggish momentum in the first half of the year. Here is Chiazala Mekie with this and closing figures on business news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. The downturn in economic activities in developed and emerging economies has seen the global economy witness a rather slow graduation in the first half of the year, especially for emerging economies including Nigeria. The central bank governor says the government is mindful of this and doing all within its capacity to get the economy back on track.
The IMF, in its World Economic Outlook report of July 2016, downgraded the 2016 growth forecast for this group of countries to 4.1% from 4.3% April projection. In July, oil and other commodity prices rallied against the backdrop of better than expected economic data on China in the second quarter, sustained attacks on oil production facilities, and called on all stakeholders to increase investment in growth in order to lift the economy out of its current phase.
Meanwhile, available data indicates that the nation's external reserves fell marginally to $26.20 billion, down from $26.32 billion. Month-on-month reserves fell by 0.4% from $26.34 billion recorded in June. The reserves stood at $26.4 billion between May 24th and 27th after dropping to $26.5 billion. finally, a quick look at how the equities market fared at the end of today's trading. That concludes Business Package. I'm Chia Zalameki. Network News continues. Don't go away.
Many thanks, Chia Zalam. President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Ambassador Enikan Olaye Audu Rafiu as Permanent Secretary in the Federal Civil Service. A statement by the Director of Communications in the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Haruna Imrana Yashid, said the President also approved redeployments of 8 others. They are Dr. Habiba Lawal from Science and Technology to Ecological Fund's Office, and Alhaji Abbas Mohammed, who was moved from Ecological Fund Office to the Ministry of Solid Minerals. Others include Estefanus Fukto to the Police Service Commission, and Mrs. Adamu Bello from Women Affairs to the Ministry of Health, while Dr. Amina Shamaki was moved to the Ministry of Women Affairs, and Mrs. Belema Wakama Asifiaka is now in charge of Science and Technology. Also affected are Alo Williams, who was moved to the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. Political and Economic Affairs Office now has Ambassador Bangbose Akindele. Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Winifred Ekanem Oyoita, directed that the processes of handing and taking over should be completed on or before the 5th of this month. The federal government has released 4.4 billion naira to the 36 states and Federal Capital Territory for the 2016 Teacher Professional Development Program. Franca Uzoma Olwa reports that the Minister of Education, Adamu, flagged off the program in Abuja.
Teacher development through training and retraining is one of the pillars of the federal government intervention through the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, to revamp the basic education subsector. The idea is to enhance the status, morale, professionalism of teachers and enable them to participate in issues affecting their lives and teaching environment.
That without professional and qualitative teachers, the dream of building a globally competitive development-oriented education system that instills and imbues the requisite skills and know-how to our teeming younger generation will continue to be a pipe dream.
Government's continuous drive towards improving basic education delivery in the country has resulted in the building and equipping of additional schools and classrooms, as well as the provision of instructional materials.
The National Teacher Professional Development Program is expected to address the wide gap in the distribution of qualified teachers in the states.
Most schools in Nigeria do not have enough teachers, especially the ones in the rural areas. So many teachers in one school in the capital, but in the rural areas you have one teacher teaching more than 500 children.
So far, series of monitoring strategies have been put in place by UBEC to ensure quality delivery of training in accordance with the approved guidelines. Franca Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Army is mitigating the impact of insurgent activities hampering access to higher education in the Northeast. This followed the gradual relocation of the Nigerian Army Institute of Technology and Environmental Studies to Biu local government area of Borno State. Defense correspondent Mohammed Abdul Kadri reports.
The Nigerian Army Institute of Technology and Environmental Studies commenced relocation from Makurdi, Benue State to Biu, Borno State, with the School of Management taking the lead to take off. While bridging town and gang relations as well as civil-military cooperation in education sector through its liberal admission policy, which is open to military personnel and civilian, it is also filling the gaps created by lack of access to quality functional education. The institution is also contributing to research and development and innovative technology to nation building as well as the fight against terrorism.
Innovation in the area of drones technology that we can use to support the military operation, print maps of area of interest for the Nigerian Army immediately when they are in operations.
The institution, with a population of about 3,005 different schools, including ICT, engineering, and administration, is relocating to the southern Borno at a time when post-war rebuilding of education sector is in progress. By the time NAITIS becomes operational, it is hoped that it will provide not only job opportunities for the people, but it is also open up admission for the educationally disadvantaged people as a result of the insurgent activities in this part of the country. From the military cantonment, the local government area of Borno State, Muhammad Abdel Kadri, NTA News.
Thank you, Mohammed. Zamfara State Police Command smashes a gang of criminals, recovers over 7 million naira. Details with Zainaba in our Sokoto Center. Hello, Zainab. It's all yours now.
Thank you, Isaac, and welcome. Zamfara State Police Command has arrested a gang of suspected armed robbers and kidnappers who have been allegedly terrorizing residents of Abuja and its environs in recent times. Exhibits recovered from the suspects include over 7.3 million naira cash, which they received as ransom from a family of one of their victims. Jamilu Ibrahim Guso has more.
The suspects allegedly specialized in armed robbery, kidnapping, and other heinous crimes, and have been terrorizing residents of Abuja and its environs with their nefarious activities. One of their latest victims is one Ngozi Debri, a 23-year-old co-member from Delta State, serving in Abuja, whom they kidnapped at a gunpoint along with her Toyota Jeep vehicle.
This deadly gang of robbers are traced. They are around Zamfara. As they robbed in Abuja, kidnapped somebody, they are bringing the person to Abuja, testing whether we will harbor them or not. Well, the men swung into action. We spread our dragnet as usual.
CP Adaji Gabriel said the victim was rescued, while the sum of over 7,343,000 naira they received as ransom recovered from them. Also paraded were drivers conveying the suspect at the time of the arrest. The suspect, who confessed to the crime, also mentioned some other members of the gang now at large. In Gusau, Jamil Ibrahim, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to you, Isaac.
Many thanks, Zainab. Countdown to Rio 2016, International Olympic Committee assures of fair competition. Sports update and global tidbits after the break. Stay with us.
The focus on Tuesday Live this week is on efforts of federal and state governments to diversify agricultural productivity to ensure national food security. NTA Tuesday Live. Informative, educative, incisive, and engaging. Don't be told. Join us.
Xiaomi M5 Plus with a 50-20 milliampere battery that lets you play for up to 3 days on a single charge. Xiaomi M5 Plus, always in power.
You get 3 kinds of moms. The paranoid mom, the cautious mom, and the Dettol mom. She only trusts Dettol antiseptic liquid to protect her family from up to 100 illness-causing germs, and it's recommended for cuts and scrapes. Which is why you can worry less and love more. Don't just be any mom, be a Dettol mom.
The production, distribution, and sale of counterfeit and fake drugs is a corrupt practice and a crime against humanity. This has informed several measures and strategies to combat fake drugs, including introduction of anti-counterfeiting cutting-edge technologies to detect fake drugs on the spot. These technologies are being deployed to all the states across the Federation, as well as the internally displaced people's camps. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, and his team are committed to this fight.
The federal government of Nigeria, in line with its anti-corruption agenda and posture, will fight a total war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products in order to ensure that Nigerians remain healthy and well.
Lend your support and join NAFDAC to rid the country of fake drugs and unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. Now let's talk sports. Nigeria's Golden Eaglets set to confront junior menace from Niger Republic as the International Olympic Committee assures unfair competition in Rio. Kenema Bodike has details in our sports update.
Nigeria's Golden Eaglets will on Saturday engage junior menace of Niger Republic in the CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match at the Abuja National Stadium. The Eaglets, who won a record 5th FIFA Under-17 World Cup trophy in Chile last year, were drawn by into the second round by CAF in the race to Madagascar. Nigeria basketball team and their crew will travel to Rio midweek from the United States of America after rounding off their Olympic preparations with a friendly match against the U.S. team Tuesday. The Tigers lost 66 to 110 points to the United States the second time in 4 years. President of the Nigeria Basketball Federation, Tijani Umar, describes the friendly as a positive exposure for the Nigerian team.
And I expected, we could do it, better than we have done it, but I think this is a group that is a promising group. It's a group that will surprise a lot of people.
Kaduna State Cricket Association has concluded the maiden primary school cricket championship, which was won by LEA Primary School Angwan with 36 runs in 10 overs. At the end of the 3-day event, Tijani Rabiu from Yusuf Dansoho Memorial Primary School won the batsman of the tournament, and Gambo Okashi from the same school emerged man of the tournament.
We are going to follow them to the secondary school where we have a platform competition for them.
With 3 days to the opening ceremony of the 2016 Rio Olympic Games, President of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, has reiterated that the Commission will not be a stumbling block to clearing Russian athletes who want to compete for medals in Rio, despite the controversies surrounding their country. More than 250 Russian athletes have so far been cleared to compete. With Sports Update, Keneyuma Burike, NTA News.
And let's quickly take a look at the weather picture across the country for Wednesday.
Thanks for staying tuned. And here is the weather forecast from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. Cloudy conditions are anticipated across the north and some parts of the southern cities, except for parts of Gombe, the Mambila Plateau, Jos, parts of Abuja, and also some places around Enugu that should watch out for localized rains in the morning. And as the day progresses into the afternoon stroke evening hours, localized thunderstorms are not unlikely over the extreme northwest region and the central states. As for the southern half of the country, localized rains are not unlikely to prevail over there. I am Joyce Ogunleye. Stay tuned for the temperature forecast.
And before we go, a reminder that you can get all our stories and much more when you log on to our website, www.nta.ng. And that concludes network news on a day that Nigeria and Benin Republic resolved to curtail the rate of illegal trade through their common borders. And President Muhammadu Buhari has named Asiwaju Bisi Adebuyi as Postmaster General and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Postal Service. You also heard that a special meeting of the federal government economic team headed by Vice President Yemi Oshibajo was held in Abuja today, aimed at developing a midterm economic framework. And that's all we have for you tonight. Thanks for watching. I am Isaac Nkuma. Good night.
breaking the news. We are Africa's largest network. Africa's largest network. Second to none. The first, the biggest, the best. Education, sports, authentic news. NTA. You can't beat the rich.
Information is power. Everyone wants power.